Hey guys, this is Mr. Osborne. I just wanted to make a little video on solving systems of equations with three variables. I assume you guys missed these notes, and most of you guys seem to be getting the hang of it, but I just wanted to put a little video tutorial online so that help you guys out in case you need a little extra review. I know some of you guys have been missing some days too because of the Spirit Week, so here's a chance to make up some time that you lost. Alright, so remember with the first step with these equations is you want to take number 1 and number 2, and we're going to move them over to the left. Okay, and again, the most important part of these problems is keep yourself organized. If you don't keep yourself organized, you're going to increase the chances for you to make a mistake. Alright, so let's start by moving number 1 over to the left here. So x plus y equals 3z equals negative 8. And take your time too. Make sure that you're multiplying all the way through, you're adding up all the variables, you're transferring over the negatives and positives to your next step. You know, take your time, because I know a lot of you guys in class ask me to check your work and you don't really know how to actually find your mistakes. And you know, the key is slow down. Don't feel like you have to go fast. Alright, so the key here is we need to eliminate a variable. Okay, and I'm going to choose to eliminate y because the idea is we want opposites to eliminate, and they're already set up to be opposites, so that works out for us. We're just going to go right ahead and get rid of those and rewrite what's left of our equation. So we have x plus x is 2x, and then negative 3z plus z is negative 2z, and negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. So that will be equation, let's look at a new little color here. How about a little, I don't know, 1. Our new equation is equation number 4. As you can see down here, that's what we want. Now we're going to make equation 5. Okay, so let's move over to the right. Now let's rewrite equation number 2 and 3. Bring it to the right. Now again, keep yourself organized. Move it over to the right. Don't bring it below. At least that's my recommendation. Do it this way, you're going to make less mistakes. Now, the important part about this next step is that whatever variable you chose to eliminate on the left side, which in this case happened to be y, you need to eliminate the same variable on the right. Okay? So we need to eliminate y. And the great thing about this problem is that it works out right away that they both eliminate right away. So we don't have to change anything. In the next video, I'm going to do another video on one that's a little different. We have to multiply or change one of the equations in order to get those variables eliminated. Okay, so x minus 3x is negative 2x. Remember, just a quick hint, if you have a bigger negative than the positive, it's going to be a negative number. Okay, be careful there. And then z plus 2z is 3z. 4 plus 3 is 7. And that is going to be our next new equation. Equation number 5. Alright? Now, the next step is we are going to move these equations down here. So this one will come here, and this one will go right below it. Color. Okay, so let's bring that first equation on the left there. Bring it down here. 2x minus 2z equals negative 4. And then bringing down this equation over here on the right. Negative 2x plus 3z equals 7. And as some of you guys maybe already noticed, this is working out really nicely. We don't have to change anything on this step. But it's not always that easy. So again, this next step, we need to eliminate a variable again, just like we did in the first one. And the nice thing about this is that we've already got two opposites here. So we've got opposite 2x's, positive 2x and negative 2x. Okay, so those right away go away. Now negative 2z plus 3z is positive z. And then negative 4 plus 7 is positive 3. And you see how that kind of works out really nicely. Of course, we always want to make the first one that we show you work out really nicely. The next Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Now, as you'll see on the right over here, you'll see these instructions that say, now substitute into 4 or 5, then again into 1, 2, or 3. So the first step is we need to substitute the z equals 3 here, that we just found, into either 4 or the number 5 equation that we made. Don't substitute into 1, 2, or 3. You'll get stuck and you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm stuck. Because if you plug it into 1, 2, or 3 on this step, you're going to end up with 2 variables again. But we want to end up with 1, because we can't solve for 2, but we can solve for 1. Alright, it'll make more sense as we go. So I'm going to pick equation 4. So I'm going to write that over here on the left. So I would like to start the first substitution on the left. So it's 2x minus 2z equals 4. And if you're wondering where that came from, that was this equation that we made on the left. And we're going to plug in that z. So 2x minus 2 times that z, which is 3. So we're going to plug in that there. And you see I'm drawing all these arrows to kind of show you the flow of things. Alright, so now let's just solve for x. 2x minus 2 times 3 is 6. Equals negative 4. Now we're going to add 6 to both sides to make that 6 a 0. Negative 6 is 0. So that goes away. And then we're left with 2x equal to negative 4 plus 6 is 2. Divide both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. And x is equal to 1. Alright, now we've got 2 variables. I've got 1 and fx and z, 3. The last one we need is y. X is x, z, and z is y. Alright, now, the next thing I'm going to do is take my 2 variables that I found, and like it describes down here, where it says, then again, into 1, 2, or 3. Now this is where you plug it into one of the first equations. Okay? So I'm going to take one of the first equations, which was, let's do number 2. 2 looks easy. Okay, number 2. Okay, so number 2 is x minus y plus z equals 4. Okay, so I'm going to plug in that x, which was 1. And then I don't know y, so just write y. And then plug in the z, which was 3. And now solve for y. So now let's combine the 2 positive numbers with here on the left, and that becomes 4. And remember, here's what's important. I see this a lot. You'll see that this is minus y here, guys. Highlight that for you. This is minus y here. Be careful. Make sure that that negative makes it to the next step. This is where I'm saying take your time. If you miss that step, that'll throw the whole thing off, and you'll check your answer and be like, oh, what did I make a mistake? Okay? So now I've got a negative y here plus 4 equals 4. And as some of you might have already guessed, this is going to work out to be 0 because I'm going to subtract 4 from this side and 4 from this side. I'm going to end up with negative y equals 0. And I'll just go ahead and divide each side by negative 1. And as we know, anything 0 over any number except for 0 itself is just equal to 0. So, those letters that are kind of in our way here. Oops. So we get 1, 0, and 3. Alright, now here's the last step. You may think you're done, but you're not, because you need to know whether these are right or not. Okay? So, let me move this next to that out of the way here. Get rid of my room real quick. It's fine here. Oh, let me pause it. I haven't paused it. I'm turning back on one of those. Sorry about that. I'm having a little trouble with the program, but it's working fine now. Alright, now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to rewrite each equation. The first one, Now the original equation, so that's number 1, and so this equals negative 8. And then the second one is x minus y plus z equals 4, and number 3 is, let's see, negative 3x plus y plus 2z. Okay, equals 3. Now, with these, you're going to plug in the values that you found into each one. Now, to make this a little quicker, because honestly, you don't want to spend a ton of time on these problems. You know, you've got other problems to work on, right? And you've got other problems in life, right? So, to make speed of things, I just like to write the number over the top. You don't really have to circle it. You just circle it. So I like to circle things. Okay. And you can do this one of 2 ways. Actually, one of 3 ways. One, you can actually just work out the problem and go through each of them on paper. You know, for some of you that might be the thing to do. And you just work out each problem like so. I'm just still plugging in all the values we found here. Or you can take a calculator and just do the left side of this equation, add up all these numbers here on the left on the calculator real quick, and check to see if it equals negative 8. Check to see if this equals 4. Check to see if this equals 3. And remember, you got to check all 3 equations. You can't just settle on 1 and then 2. You need to check all 3. If you don't check all 3, it could work for 2, and then it won't work for the last one. Okay? So you got to be sure. And then the last way to do it is simply just do it in your head. You can simply, like for instance, if I'm doing this first one, I can just say to myself, okay, plug in the 1, that's 1, plus plug in the 0, that's 0, so 1 plus 0 is 1, and then minus 3 times 3, well that's 9, so 1 minus 9 is negative 8. Okay, that one's good, and you can just go do that way all the way across. Okay, well that's it. I'm going to do another video on the orange sheet that's over here to the right. That's the second sheet that you got. If you didn't come get in class, you can take these notes on online anyways. And I will see you guys on Monday. Alright, bye.